Was Sunday night just a bad night, or was it a sign of things to come for Brady and the Bucs?
No, I just think it was a bad night. I mean, you have those games that you go into, you think you have a great week of practice, and you just have one of those bad nights. And I think that's what you saw here. The offense couldn't get going. I think they got away from the run. They didn't do the things that they was doing when they was running the ball. They try to show out for the with Gronk having Antonio Brown, Godwin, and also Mike Evans out there, trying to spread the ball around. But the offenses ran basically from the running game to the passing game, and I don't think they did that at all.
I agree. I think it was a bad game, but I think the biggest thing is that what teams are seeing, like, look, if we don't have a front like the Saints, and there are very few teams in the NFC that does, the Rams can pressure the quarterback with 4. The Saints can pressure the quarterback with 4 and then, not compromise their back end. But everybody else is probably going to have to sacrifice something. But the thing moving forward, the teams are going to see that, you know what, the chance for us to beat this team is that we got to pressure Tom Brady. And we might have to give up a big play. But we got to get Tom Brady. We got to make him uncomfortable. And if we can make him uncomfortable early, that might serve us well later. He might miss a throw or two late. But if we let him get in rhythm early, well, there's no chance of us knocking him off rhythm late. So I think that was the thing that the Saints shown. The Saints says, look, we can just go get pressure. And but they got, like I said, they got Jack Rabbit and they got Marshawn Lattimore that can put hands. They got those guys that work on the farm. And if you're from Louisiana, you know what the farm is. They got those guys that says, Mike Evans, you ain't getting it today. AB, we know you just got back. Jack Rabbit said, we're not having it. And then Chris Godwin skipped, you take your third corner, but he's dealing with a broken index finger. And I don't really know how well you're going to be able to catch consistently with a broken hand and you trying to body catch it. Because you catch with, you catch with your eyes, but that ball hitting that hand, a broken finger, that hurt. I wrote thumb guards. So I know when you got an injured digit, it hurts to catch the ball. I agree with you, Crow. I think it was a bad night, but BA's going to have to make a decision, Crow. Either he's going to let Tom Brady run his offense that he ran in New England because it's not conducive to run what BA wants to run, which is get chunk plays down the field. That's not conducive. You saw what happened Sunday. Yeah. They tried to get chunk plays down the field with no running game, and you set Tom Brady up for failure. Let him do what he does really well, which is pick you apart. He's a short fisherman. He ain't a deep sea fisherman anymore. He never was. But let him take the back in the flat. Let him take the check down. Let him take Gronk over the middle. Let him work the middle stuff. All that, no risk it, no biscuit, that ain't for Tom.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've come around on the Buccaneers because yesterday you were all doom and gloom. They're done, man.
No, I didn't say they're done. No. There's only a handful of teams that can do to them what the Saints did. And they're both probably going to be in the playoffs. That's the Rams and that's the Saints that can rush for and not compromise and play man coverage. Jalen Ramsey can play man coverage. We'll find out because they got the Rams in 2 weeks on a Monday night. So we'll find out how that matchup could possibly materialize because it could happen again in the playoffs.
So, Crow, back to bad night. I thought it was one of the 2 or 3 worst games of Tom Brady's career. I also think it was a recipe for disaster. They were on a short week coming off Monday Night Football away, had to travel home, condensed week. Antonio Brown joins them. We know how big his personality is, how big his presence is. He can be a disruptor. I'm not saying he was disrupting the team, but just by being there, it's disrupting to a team that was already 6-2 and looked like it was on a roll. And all of a sudden, after 2 practices, you throw Antonio into a mix that was working. And you had 2 guys who made the Pro Bowl last year. You've added the GOAT tight end in Gronk, who'd been on a recent roll. And all of a sudden, you play Antonio Brown 39 snaps. And you try to force feed him 5 targets, and you spread the ball great. You threw 6 to Gronk, you threw 6 to Mike Evans, you threw 6 to Godwin, you even threw 6 to Fournette on your checkdowns out of the backfield. So the ball got spread, it just didn't get caught. And it was a disaster from start to finish. Tom Brady got hurt on the first snap of the night, got hit, not hurt. He got slapped in the face, and it was almost like this is who we are, that we're going to be there. We're going to be in your face. That was Cam Jordan, who didn't have much of a game after that, but all of a sudden that Trey Henry was just coming from everywhere. And my God, they were all over Brady. He had the second highest rush rate of the week. So he was under fire as 56% of the night. But again, I'm not making an excuse, but I'm giving him a little bit of break because, man, if you're going to try to force Antonio into that mix, and you don't have as much time to speed read as you used to, it's going to be chaos for you.
Hey, Crow, before you go.
Yeah, but I feel like this, though. Go ahead, Crow.
Go ahead, make your point. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is my thing, though. This is what I'm talking about. But you can't say he tried to force Antonio Brown into it. The game plan was playing Antonio Brown for 10 to 31 plays. He ended up playing like 39 plays. You got to think about this. He was trying to force feed Gronk more so than he was trying to force feed Antonio Brown. He had Antonio Brown open on the first third down. Who he tried to throw it to? Who had great coverage? He tried to throw it to Gronk. Antonio Brown wide open. He's going against a linebacker. Who's checking Antonio Brown coming out in the backfield? He's missing his reads. The reads that he needs to make, that's what Tom Brady's doing. He's missing his mismatches, and something that he did in New England very well. He took advantage of the mismatch, and he's not doing that. And you can see that. He's trying to force feed the ball to guys that's not open and not throwing to what he has mismatch-wise.
Agreed.
And when as Skip said, he did a great job of spreading the ball around. That's not what Mike Evans is used to.
No.
Mike Evans is not used to having the ball spread around. He used to getting 10. He's like, hold on. Jacoby Myers got 14 targets last night, and you mean to tell me you gave me 6 and I'm supposed to be happy with that? And I told you the other day, Crow, I said, it's just a matter of time. I said, what they tried to do is that because they're not targeting Mike Evans like they normally would, they get down into the 1 or 2 yard line, they throw him a fade, he get a touchdown, but that's going to keep him happy. But it's only a matter of time. You know how these big-time receivers, they want their 10 to 14 targets per game because they see all these other guys getting these targets. They watching Devontae Adams. They watching Stephon Diggs. They watching all these guys. They're like, wait a minute. We supposed to have to go. He's supposed to be able to figure this out, how to get me my 12 targets and keep, I ain't worried about everybody else. Get me my 12 and we going to win.
That's true. But you got to think about this. Bruce Arians don't care about your targets. Bruce Arians don't care nothing about that. Being with him in Arizona, he didn't care about Larry Fitzgerald getting 25 catches or 25 targets a game. He didn't care about none of that. Only thing Bruce Arians cared about was winning the game. And if he can spread the ball around and get the guys that he need to get the ball to win the game, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's going to spread it around. But there's a reason why Fitz is breaking in on 1,400 catches. Fitz was never devoid of catches in Arizona. He got his catches, but if you look at his offense, you remember, Crow, that offense is about pushing the ball down the field.
Down the field.
And if you don't push the ball down the field, he's going to be upset. I think that's what he's mainly upset about with Brady more than anything. Yeah, Brady didn't play well, and that's okay. I mean, what great quarterback hasn't had a game or two in a season in which he played awful? But it's his inability to consistently push the ball down the field. They criticized Jameis, but Jameis was doing exactly what B.A. wanted him to do, which was push the ball down the field.
I mean, that's very true, but who you going to push the ball down the field with? You don't have no speed guys. But Bruce Arians' offense was built on having speed, from John Smoke Brown to having Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Wallace, and all those guys down the field. You was able to push the ball down the field. Who are you going to push it down the field?
Antonio jump balls. Mike Evans, first of all, Mike Evans used to go in deep. They're going to throw him jump balls. Mike is he want to be a 50-50 guy. But that's not how Tom is wired. You know Tom is not going to just put it, that's Mike Evans. Let me throw the ball 55 yards down the field and let Mike jump up and catch it. Jameis would put it up. Jameis said, you want it, Mike? I'll throw it to you.
Definitely. He's definitely going to throw it up to you.
So, Crow, having played for Bruce Arians, having been around him in Arizona, are you at all surprised that he has been publicly critical of Tom Brady after each of their 3 losses?
No, not at all. I saw it in Arizona with Carson Palmer. But you know, that comes with a lot of territory with Coach Arians, man. He's a guy that expects a lot of his guys. And the one thing that Coach Arians always said was, if you're a 5-star player, you need to play like a 5-star player. No matter what the conditions are, I need my blue chip players to play the way they're supposed to play. And that's what he expects out of them. You want to call him the GOAT? Well, he got to have a GOAT night every single night. So that's the terms that he go by.
Because if you think about it, when he talks about it, he's like, well, Tom practiced really well, Skip. He made those three. He always goes back to that. And that's what, remember the first game, he's like, well, I'm surprised that he missed that because he was playing, he threw the ball so well in practice. And he's like, okay, I expect practice to correlate to you going on the field and doing exactly what you did in practice, doing that in the game. So I'm not surprised. And that was my concern with Skip and I say, well, Skip, when he's openly critical of Tom Brady, how is Brady going to handle that? Because it's coming. It's going to come. And that's who he is. That's who he's always been.
Yes.
Well, for the record, I'm not surprised, but I am offended by it because who the hell is BA to criticize Tom Brady publicly? That's all I got to ask.
Hey, BA going to be him.
Hey, Thomas Edward Jameis Winston Brady Sr., because he turning the ball over like Jameis. Now ain't he Crow?
For one night.
No, not like Jameis. No.
That is not his name,
That's your
Shannon.
boy Carson Wentz.
Don't do that.
Thank
do
you.
that, Crow.
Touche.
Crow, don't do that. Don't do that.
Bingo.
All right, Antonio, please do stick around. I'm sure you noticed and watched this game as well. I need your thoughts on Skip's Cowboys. After losing a nail-biter on Sunday, do they still